Got a new water bowl. Loving it. It's got my name on it. CJW. Don't know if you can see that. Like it. So we all love our job most of the time, particularly creatives. It's why we go into the industry. We love our job. And I think it's fair to say I love my job, I'd say 95% of the time. But there is that one small, tiny, minuscule 5% of my job that I don't like. So I'm going to be going over that little 5% today, and that is photography pet peeves. Let's roll the intro. Welcome back, guys. Thank you very much for joining me for another video. I hope you're all good. 2020 has been a pretty negative year. I've been fairly positive. I consider myself a fairly positive guy. But today I'm just going to dip a little bit lower into the negative side of being a photographer, being a videographer. So yeah, we're going to go over some pet peeves that I come across on pretty much a weekly basis. Some of them maybe not so weekly because, 2020. We're going to be going over them today in this video. So yeah, let's go for it. The first one is that message you get. How much do you charge? Could you maybe give us like 75% discount? It's not like it's that hard, right? Wrong. So wrong. There's always that person that thinks being a photographer is literally just pressing a button and sending photos. There's so much more than just pressing a button and thinking you have an amazing picture from the get-go. There is so much time and manpower that goes into editing photos. Like, people don't understand that. But what's worse is when someone doesn't understand or want to compensate you and pay you what you're actually worth. That is That's not a good thing to deal with, being a photographer and creative in this industry. So, yeah, that's something I love to deal with. The next thing is when a client says, do you think you could send me the raw files? So this is something that I am very much against. I do not, under any circumstances, really send the raw files to a client, whether it's the photos or the videos. I'm going to put on the screen just here. This is a photo of a script that I use and send to every client when they send me that message asking for the raw files. I don't send raw files. Feel free to use that script as well. Feel free to copy and paste it. I will link it on my website down below, connorwells.com. Go ahead, read through it, download a copy. It's free to use. Enjoy it. Because yeah, it definitely is quite annoying when they send for the raw files, because I'll go over it briefly. The raw files do not represent my work as a photographer, as a creative, because they are raw, that I haven't put, my editing touch to them. So they don't represent me as a business. So I would prefer for those photos not to be shared out on social media or shared among, people. So that is why I don't send raw files. The next one is when you get that comment where someone says, that's a really nice photo. You must have a really nice camera. Yeah, I know how to use it. It's not just about the camera. I always preach it's not about the gear. It's never really been about the gear. Maybe if you're doing, big commercial shoots and, you're scaling up, and yeah, you might need a bit of better gear, but you can still take amazing photos. You can still make amazing videos on entry-level cameras. Look at this. The picture, in my opinion, looks pretty good, and I'm shooting on what is considered to be an entry-level camera. I use the Canon EOS M50. I am shooting in 4K. The camera is absolutely miles away from me because of the crop. I am using it in manual focus because the autofocus is crippled, and this is still considered an entry-level camera, and I have shot my entire professional career using Canon M50s. So learn how to use your gear and you'll take good photos. One thing that really annoys me, it hasn't happened too much this year because, again, 2020, but when you're shooting events and weddings and people try to put their phones in front of your camera to get the same shot. Please stop. Forgive me if I'm mistaken, but Wasn't I the one that was hired to take pictures? Wasn't I the one that was hired to take videos? People taking pictures on their phones and getting in the way of photographers, particularly wedding photographers, that can be a real pet peeve of mine. And I'm pretty sure it's a pet peeve of a lot of photographers when people with their phones are just getting in the way of a job that you're actually paid to do. Please refrain from doing that in future. Again, the same sort of thing with events is when, you're doing your thing, you're vibing, you're jamming, you're taking pictures, you're going around, and someone who is literally just attending the event starts to give you tips and pointers. Like, I was hired for a reason. Like, I know this is my job. I am a professional. I'm fairly confident to say that I'm a professional photographer. It is my job now. So when people just in attendance at the event, who are just there for the event, not paid to be doing anything, start coming up to you and giving you tips, it's a very frustrating thing. No. The next one is another real big pet peeve of mine, is when someone shares a photo you took and they don't credit you as the photographer. That is what really annoys me, and particularly with video work as well. You've worked hard on that shoot. You've worked hard editing those photos. You've worked hard color grading that video, making sure everything's in sync, making sure everything is perfect. And then the client is gushing over those photos, posting them on socials without even saying who took the photos. That is a real pet peeve of mine. I'm going to let you in with a little secret though. This is just something that I do. This is just between you and I. One thing I do, for example, is if I see one of my clients posting one of my photos without, crediting me, without tagging me, which, it's not a given thing to do. It's just a very nice thing to do. It's one business helping out another business. Comment on their photo, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram. I loved photographing your event. I loved photographing your business or your product, your family. Help them remember who gave them those gorgeous photos. Little secret between you and I. Ladies and gentlemen, we are down to the final pet peeve, and I think for most photographers, creatives, and videographers, it is a cardinal sin. It's when someone posts your photo or video on Instagram and slaps on a really shitty Instagram filter. There's just one word for this. No. Like I said earlier in this video, you spend hours color grading, editing, correcting photos and videos, making sure they are, 100% perfect. You send them, deliver them to the client. They say they look beautiful and amazing and gorgeous, and they love them so much and can't wait to start sharing them. They post them on their Instagram, and it's got an Instagram filter on it. You just feel like crying yourself to sleep at night when that happens. I hate it. Still love my job though. Still love my job. But those pet peeves aside, I love my job. I love being a photographer. I love being a videographer. I love being a producer of videos, content, and podcasts. I would not change it for the world. But those are some pet peeves that if you're wanting to get into this industry, you will deal with. It is fact. You will deal with that. It's unavoidable in my opinion. Let me know down in the comments if there's any pet peeves that you deal with or that I've missed. If you can relate to any of these, that would be amazing. Let me know and make sure I'm not alone in this. I do not want you creatives to feel alone when it comes to photography, which is why I'm making these videos for you. And again, like I said, head to connorwells.com and you can find the little script, the little template I use when clients ask for raw photos. I'm against sending the raw photos to clients, and feel free to use that if you are in the same mindset as myself. Also, whilst you're on connorwells.com, head over to my shop. You can download my preset pack, my Lightroom preset pack. These are the first presets I've released. These are what I use to edit all my photos. Anything you see on my website, it is edited with them. This is my first preset pack. Go and have a little look, toy around with them, and let me know what you think. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. That would be amazing. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next video. Have a great day, guys. Stay safe. Peace.